This is part 2 of lecture 3. Picking up where I stopped, I'm going to go over some of the CDC STD surveillance slide set. And I actually just saw the time on the first part. It was 45 minutes, which is longer than I thought it was going to be. So I'm only going to review the age slides in this presentation. If people are interested in reviewing the STD slides, they're on Blackboard and you can download them and go through them. If it's something the class is interested in talking through, and in past years I've found that students usually are pretty interested in STD surveillance, then let me know, and next week we can figure out a time to go through these in more detail. So the two that you guys are going to have a class assignment, a question for, is going to be on chlamydia and gonorrhea age trends. This is STD surveillance as of 2013. Okay, so chlamydia, going through the age region slides. We get to a slide that's showing us the rates of reported cases by age and sex in the US. And what we see here for chlamydia is that the highest rates for women are among those 15 to 19 in age and 20 to 24 in age. Similarly, for men, we see that younger persons are also have higher rates of chlamydia. So for the 20 to 24-year-old men and the 25 to 29-year-old men that have the highest rates. And overall, down here, this is the very bottom, you see the total rate. So 623 cases of chlamydia per 100,000 population were reported in 2013 among women. For the women that were 20 to 24 years old, we see 3,621 cases per 100 population. So if you take the 35 to 39-year-old group, where it's around 300 cases, versus the 20 to 24-year-olds, you've got almost a 100-fold increase in the rate among the 20 to 24-year-olds. Now for men, overall, there was 263 cases of chlamydia reported per 100,000 population. For the 20 to 24-year-olds, it was 1,325 cases per 100,000 population. So again, if we look at, you could just pick this bar right here, this 40 to 44-year-olds. So 116 cases versus 1,325 cases. Again, that's about a 100-fold increase in the rate for 20 to 24-year-old men versus 40 to 44-year-old men. Now, some of you might be wondering why women have so much higher rates of chlamydia, and it's just because it's because of biology. They're biologically more susceptible to getting a chlamydia infection. The other reason is sort of a disease detection. Women usually will go in annually for their gyno exam, and men don't have any sort of similar annual exam that requires them to go to the doctor. All right, so I'm going to go through the rest of the chlamydia slides and get to gonorrhea. Again, you guys are going to have to answer 2 questions on chlamydia. Well, it's 1 question about chlamydia and gonorrhea for the class assignment. Okay, going through the geography slides to the same slide for gonorrhea. So this is rates of reported cases by age and sex in the United States in 2013. For the women, there was a total of 102 cases per 100,000 population in 2013. For men, there was a total of there was an overall rate of 109 cases per 100,000 population in 2013. And we see something pretty similar here, right? So it's the younger persons, again, that have the highest rates. So the 20 to 24-year-olds for men and women, the 25 to 29-year-olds had the second highest rate for men. The 15 to 19-year-olds had the second highest rate for women. Okay, so now switching back to I'm going to go back to our class slides. Today, for your in-class assignment, discussion leaders, I'd like you to give the class 5 to 10 minutes to review the Hahn article. Students should have read this article before coming to class. Then as a class, you're going to complete the classroom lecture 3 document. Included in the classroom lecture 3 document, I put a question about the slide sets. What I want you to tell me is, why do you think CT is chlamydia and G is gonorrhea? Why do you think chlamydia and gonorrhea testing is recommended for persons under 25 years of age? And I'm going to update this on the slide set for you guys. And then the last thing is that, again, discussion leaders should email me the completed document. That should say document, and any questions about the paper or any questions that students had during the lecture. For tomorrow, the reading we're going to have is chapter 4. You're also going to have a quiz. If you have to prioritize things, I'd say study for the quiz rather than read chapter 4. The other thing is that you need to complete the city training and the practica form and bring them to class on Monday. I believe that Erin's going over the city training and the practica form with you, and this is the, let's see if I have it pulled up to show you. I don't, hold on, let me open it. So the practica certification, I have to turn into Hunter IRB. And what this certification is stating is that all the data that you're going to collect over the summer will not be used for any research. It will just be used for the purposes of this classroom. So for the purposes of learning, if this data you collected was used for research, then you would have to go through a full IRB review, which we don't have time to do. So a couple things on here. Just note that none of your research projects can involve the collection of data from children, prisoners, or mentally ill individuals. You will not be allowed to collect any identifying information, names, addresses, social security numbers, any sort of codes, a driver's license, ID that can be linked back to the persons you've interviewed. So what I want you to do is sign this, date this, bring this to class along with your city certification. Your course number is COMHE 330, section number 2, summer 2016. The faculty member, you'll put my name on here. Department is community health. And then I also will be turning in a similar form, but basically just my form states that I'm responsible for all the data collection activities that are ongoing in this class. So when we get further along in the summer, I'll go over what's required of you in terms of data collection. And basically, if anything were to happen while you are collecting data, I would ask that you contact me immediately, but we'll review all these instructions in depth probably at the beginning of week 3 when you guys are when you have to submit your data collection forms to me, and that'll also be the week where you go out and do your interviews. Okay, I'm switching the screen back to our lecture slides. And that's it. So study for your quiz tomorrow. Again, the quiz will be over over concepts, not content. So I'm not going to ask you about rates of chlamydia or gonorrhea. I will ask you about how you would calculate incidence, how you'd calculate prevalence, what's descriptive epidemiology, what's analytic epidemiology, those types of things. Right, and that's it for lecture 3.